He's a very interesting presenter, Maxym from Drone Space Labs. And he's going to talk a lot about engineering and its relation to the feedback from the actual zero line. So please, welcome, Maxym.
Hello, everyone. Guys, come in. Good news from Ukraine that we are here and want to share with you our experience. Guys, really, come to hear really cool information. So, today we will talk about drones, and I'm actually a technical guy. We'll talk more about communication system, controlling the different sorts of platform. And I'm really curious, how many military guys from EE is here? It's good that you are here, such small hands. But from my side as engineer is, and my recommendation to all of Ukraine, from Ukrainian side to all of Estonian manufacturers, is talk more with military guy. Because as many experience you can share and brought from the battlefield, from direct final user, as good your product will be in future. As the war start, as the war come in my house, we not be ready. And this is a disaster for manufacturer. And also we will talk more about what you as manufacturer will do with final customers when the enemy will eliminate your houses, your manufacturers, your supply chain. You will not have able to use post office, delivery services. It will be dangerous to produce jamming system, ground station in local, and what you must to do with this stuff. When we analyze that we can't organize a good supply chain and system and delivery, we start to localize all of components which we able to produce our ground stations, drones, relaying systems, etc. And export regulation of components which you directly will produce, like its motors, frames, etc. You already know these rules. No China side. All of components must be localized. It's not something which I am talking about like rocket science. It's the crucial reality which you must understand. When you choose the manufacturer, choose the guy which will assemble everything by local side. Classic drones is not something wonder. 7 years ago, I organized classroom for children. It was like 10, 12 years old children which assemble 7-inch, 10-inch drones. And right now in Ukraine, it's not a rocket science. The tactic range is different, and for different target tasks, we use different technology, different drones. Every time you must remember different drones for different target tasks. Simple drone for like solving the simple solution, but drone war and the year and 5 years experience in Ukraine show us the problem of kill zone. Right now, forgot about 5, 3, 7 kilometers, forgot about this. The pilot will be the first target in a range. Russian Rubicon eliminates all logistics in Ukrainian area for 40, 50 kilometers, and look at the first target is the pilot, as the pilot. So what's the problem for me as engineer? Keep the pilot safety, keep the pilot in safety place, put antennas such version of antennas, more in some hiding place, put the pilot out of that range. And what we does, we provide like mothership platform which carrying FPV drone, draw this FPV out of enemy possibility area. And in your mind, you must understand that drone, simple FPV drone, which assembled by children, it's only one side. You must to see how the system works in complex, globally, like what I'm talking about. The drone plus relaying system plus ground station plus communication via Starlink streaming to your command center. This video giving direct feedback from general, from your commander. Streaming is also important stuff. We will talk more about this later. And how Ukrainian army start streaming first video of eliminate of different troops and units. So when we directly training military guy in Ukraine, we're not focusing only one thing. We're trying to organize how the squad, how the unit must work globally with all of this bunch of sort of equipment, with last mile targeting, with autonomous deny navigation, with relaying system communication, with all of these sorts of analog digital communication system, and also how to work with payload. It's also very important. How to work with ignition board sensor, detonation models, how to work with, how to produce grenades, how to prepare, sorry, not produce, how to prepare grenades and shells for using an FPV, etc. So, as I said before, different drones for different tasks. We present here the platform. Our B-24 also, we produce other sorts of drones, as how it looks, the bomber, the nightmare of Russia, the big, loud platform which has thermal camera, fly at night, and can fly on really extreme distance, more than 10 kilometers, more than 8 kilometers. All of sorts of platform which you are using in the field must be testing in real condition, in a real jamming situation, and as I say also before, work in mesh, in a complex system which you are using for communicate with bunch of these drones, and your units, your troops, will using the ground station. The ground stations, it's actually basic thing for battle level unit troops in Ukraine. And we know directly because we are one of the biggest manufacturers of ground stations in Ukraine. We are sub-supplying such device for different manufacturers as sub-supplier. And for what such many antennas, you ask me? For communicate with different sorts of drones on analog, on digital, in one period of time. Because when you mount it in a field or like in the bushes, 14 meters antennas, believe me, you not will have time to unroll it, rolling up, and change VTX, change RX model, etc. So you must click the button and use another frequency, another FPV drone from another manufacturer to control and fly on a long range. So I mentioned several notes for your opinion, that you must no less than 2 communication systems. You must to have antennas as high as possible. For example, in Ukraine, right now, yes, less bushes and trees near the front line. But when I fly near Lithuania, near Riga polygon, I see a lot of tall trees, 30, 40 meters. So to solve such kind condition of flying, you must to have like opportunity to put antenna more than 14 meters even. Why? Because in some sort of condition, you not have opportunity to work with the relaying system. For example, our drone with payload 7 kilos, they can fly 30 kilometers. 30 as kamikaze. 30 kilometers fly is around 15-20 minutes. If you use classic Mavic 3 for relaying, with relaying model, they fly only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes with payload 600 grams or 900 grams. So you need or use Matrice or other relaying system drone, or use tall antennas. But honest with you guys, when Russian reconnaissance drone sees these antennas in bushes, believe me, you have a cub in your face, and your position will be eliminated. It's bad, but it saves your life as a pilot because you have long distance cable and can hide in its range as long as possible. Okay, let's go next. Talk more about tactic use of antennas. Right now, Ukrainian army use different sorts of communication system. Mostly it's digital drone on like Mavic, DJI. They use external antennas like Alien Tech, Mavka, Raptor, like, you know, these Chinese manufacturers. And when we're talking about FPV thematics, very important stuff is to make understand that you are extended not the UF signal from antennas, you extend the digital communication link, and this is the right way. When you use communication system right now on the market, you can use Chinese communication system as TBS and ELRS. And not forget about know how to flash this communication system on how it named popular non-standard frequencies like 700, 300, 400 megahertz. Because the curious problem in the world is jamming, and why we're installing such many antennas for avoid the jamming system, for solving the jamming system problem. When you're simply jamming one frequency, you as military guy change the VTX in a range, yes, and use another frequency on your FPV drone. You ask me, okay, how to do this job? And this what our military engineering classroom school actually teach. We teach military guy, directly military guy, and our charity NGO Dronarnia do it totally for free, only for military. Teach how to reflash the drones, how to change the VTX. And on the combat level, our generals also understand this opinion and do everything for organize such sort of classroom in their brigade. To teach basic knowledge, military guy, not only how to fly on the drone, but also how to repair the drone, how to change the VTX, reflashing the frequency, work with a new FPV transmitter system, changing this transmitter system. When the war comes in your house, you not will have such direct communication with manufacturer. So you must know how to do it by your own. Let's talk more about supply chain. You know the parts which the classic drone has been constructed, the frame, motors, flight controllers, etc. And as I say in the first part of my speaking, that you must start localize all of these components and unify these components in your brigade with your platforms for make opportunity to change it inside. So you use like flight control. Let's start like you use a frame from wood, metal, aluminum, plastic. Yes, from our heads, Russian use a different source of FPV drones, even from wood. You can see these photos in internet, and start to organize, to localize all of these components in your country. It's more a task for not military guys, it's task for manufacturer to localize all of these components, and this is our road, this is what we does in Ukraine for 3 years. We buying machine, yes, unfortunately in China, not buying, for secret, we stole it in China, and bring it to Kiev for assemble motors. But another problem, where we can buy magnets for the motors, or where we can buy the shafts, and or the coils, the starters. Okay, starters, coil, we are producing in Ukraine, but magnets. This is key points, these small components you will already try to find in another country, buy in another country. And this is actually the disaster and the problem. That not of all components in the moment you can find and localize. It's a long way road. I'm really glad to hear that Estonia choose this way, start to work with manufacturers, start to organize assembly lines. I know some guys start assembly lines of optic fibers. Here in Estonia, it's very cool. So let's talk more about technology and system. As I said before, manufacturers is very important, and when we're talking about globally technology level of battle troops and units, we must to understand as long as possible your system will be adapted in your with your troops and units, as more efficient these troops and units will be. We call it economic of the war, when the cheap FPV drone or the swarm of FPV drone can make more better and good impact in true condition. For example, when you're talking about last mile technology, all of manufacturers which are here is, yeah, we produce and provide our own technology, we start work with our own assembly line. No, for me, I will recommend to you guys make cooperation. Cooperate with Norda, as we does in Ukraine, or with other manufacturers, install their system on the drone. So collaborate with other manufacturers, not make opportunity to do it by everything by your own. You're not alone in this world. Also, the technology of mapping, which you can use on your drones, is very important. Start with basic thing like loitering. Loitering and take the drone in one position is like the classic task for in what you can start your process of developing the drone or use their drone. When we're talking about navigation system and optic visual navigation system, it's actually a very deep learn problem. You must have good hardware, good software, and know every sort of drones, cheap drones can be provided by manufacturers, because also the price of the drone is very important. You not will provide the expensive drone for solving the problem of eliminate some tents in the bushes. We are not in Iraq when $5 million raketa eliminate Russian tent. It's stupid. Also about economic of the war. After the war start, we start the next problem, very important one, is Ukraine already have the most bigger army of agriculture drone. And this agriculture drone, we thinking can be used for eliminate Russians, for dropping some presence on enemy head. And we as manufacturers start to think how to make modernization of this drone. Installing Starlink, installing security GNSS system as 4 bands GNSS model, UNA1, Septetrino model, installing navigation system, installing radio controlling system. And what's the point? That creativity of engineering side and this all of ideas goes from not manufacturer, it goes from final user, from military guy. My recommendation as a manufacturer, spot and communicate with training center and spoke and communicate directly with soldiers if you're a manufacturer. Because it's your final user, you will have direct feedback from them and make just what they asked. If they ask the drone for 5 kilometers, okay, provide this solution. If they ask the drone for 45 kilometers, provide this solution. Be creativity. And this is what we do in our training center. We train, I personally train more than 2,000 pilots and more than 400 engineers. How to assemble the drone, how to flash in the system, and our complex, like more globally, deep level learning. Like you not just teach how to assemble the drone, you assemble your personal project, and with this project, you go to the front line. So this is very important. So you're not just learning, you assemble your like ground station, relaying simple. Yes, it can look like bullshit, but it works. And testing on long range is very important also. So preparing, upgrade the drone, how to organize the teaching program, and how to use your system directly. It's very important for manufacturers and also for military guy to be ready to work with this stuff in different conditions. So let's talk about more about tactic use of different systems. When you're using the ground station or Mavic or DJI, forgot that you will stay in the field, take your remote controller in the bushes and trying to catch the drone in the sky. No. Tactic use, tactic level training must be equipped, must be consist of different sorts. Also, how to use the ground station inside the trench, inside the bunker, how to communicate with the pilot, how to see the stream, how to work from a car, and evolution, which was passed for like these 3 years, impact in tactic, which right now Ukraine show all over the world, is basically how to take something which look like, not look like toy, and use it like a weapon. I see here a lot of drones for different manufacturers and make notes that everybody forgot about detonation activation system and non-standard frequency, which right now Russian start use on their FPV. It's very important to understand that as 3 years pass, the frequency also changes. Russia have no borders with China. They can buy everything that you can imagine. Transmitter on 3.8, easy. VTX on 25 watts, done. Communication model for 320 megahertz this day. So you must be ready for this, and that evolution of the frequencies, evolution with communication system has been changed, and our role is adaptive standard which we have right now with bullshit Mavics 2.4, 5.8 to crucial reality of the war. That this is the basic frequency which will be jammed and you will not able to fly on your Mavic when the Russians start attack. in Ukraine, we understand this. We use booster, but not a simple Chinese amplifier as Alien Tech or Raptor. We use more powerful system, hiding the antennas in the trees, etc. So it's next level of development, and actually the NATO role understand this experience. We are really open and sharing this experience with you guys, and improving in the troops and units ASAP. Analyzing the countermeasurements, analyzing right now Ukraine can share this experience is very important, because right now we have a lot of technology which unfortunately officially we can't share as a manufacturer, because we have closed an export for IP and for equipment also. How we can help? We can, for example, organize manufacture here and provide a new sort of IP and technology with collaboration. And actually, that's what we plan to do. And my role in this to help you guys understand which way we are passed for these 4 or 5 years of the war, of active part of the war, accumulate this experience in new product, and share this product with you. Okay, let's talk about the role of AI and drone warfare. Right now, you know, maybe hear about last mile targeting system, fully autonomous, but crucial reality is, I want to, did someone see the drone show? The drone flying up, these flashlights, no? No, somebody yes, somebody no, maybe on YouTube see these videos. Did you know that the team which prepared this drone show work of 1 week before? That in one place, a lot of drones had been to flying up. Such many preparation for such short period of time of drone show. If for people need such many time for prepare drone show, imagine if its system is really will work in the future, not in the nearest future, man, not nearest. That's why Ukrainians use the technology as simple as possible and show the efficiency of this technology. Really hard to do simple thing. Start with something, but something efficient. Controlling on of the simple analog drone and using some DIY solution when can be the start of the process which you can organize in your troops and units. This is the video from 2024. You see mostly the crispy image from the front line, and the distance was 6.77 kilometers. And this is actually from what guys was starting up. When you're adaptive in all situations, in some period of time, your tactic use of the system will increasing your range, increasing your capability, meshing all of components in one system. For example, when we start using the Starlink for our droppers, our video from our Starlink drone, when we are dropping some presence on enemy head, we not have problem with jamming, and Starlink drone works really fine. But time is passed, and Russians start jamming the Starlink system, and we improving the technology of synthetic data, which we are start to sending to Starlink model, because inside the Starlink there's small GNSS, and you must to avoid the system to use this GNSS model to using it. So we are adapting and improving new and new technology in new products. When we are start collaboration process with other manufacturers from Estonia, from EU, from Ukrainian manufacturers, we start improving our drone thematics to the next level. Before this story, drones used for classic mission as scouting, loitering system, and when we going to thematics with meshing the system and draw and work with some nets collaboration, we must hear and talk more about working in this mesh system. And here is the platform which I'm talking about, is our B24. We tested it in Lithuania, in Riga, with fly on 40 kilometers. So we use both communication system, which works in mesh in one period of time. Left is digital, right is analog. And we fly in really extremely bad condition in jamming system, plus high trees, plus it was snowy and frosty, but never mind about this. And what we feel that Lithuania, Latvia, it's really have similar condition as in Estonia. And my next recommendation, which I will talk you after this testing, will be more specific about how to use the drone and the system in direct your condition. So, going on. Optic fiber capability, and I think if you have opportunity to use drone on optic fiber, does this. Because you have trees, bushes, insanely EV situation from Russian side. And optic is your solution. 4 years ago, we present, 5 years ago, sorry, we present the concept of first Ukrainian drones, which named Strichka. It's like simple FPV drone. It's 5 years old video. And this drone have opportunity to fly on optic fiber. We use French bobbin, but next we install this bobbin on big drone. And meshing this technology with communication system. So this was idea from military guy. That's what military guy asked us. Maxym, can you fly in every sort of jamming condition, in every situation? But we are very curious, what happens when the optic fiber has been cut? We lose the drone? Or can we use the drone multiply times? Or can we use drone on UGV platform? Yes, you can. And you must to meshing all of these components in one system. As we provide, we install as a communication system, as optic fiber on a drone, unfortunately small video, and fly in every condition. We have in that period of time, just believe, more than 15 jamming system around the training yard. And in this time, everybody was wonder. It was, remember, it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, sorry, that our drone is flying. If you can, use optic fiber. But I want to mention that optic is good, but it's a little bit expensive one, and you will have problem with materials from what optic fiber has done. Unfortunately, I don't know yet local manufacturer of optic fiber bobbin in Estonia and Litva region. I'm not talking about respooling the bobbin. I'm talking about directly producing the optic fiber bobbin. This technology is very hard. You must have a big manufacturer to provide this technology. In Ukraine, already start the process in Ondas, one manufacturer line who will provide the spools for optic fiber. It's very hard. So, if you will use Chinese bobbin, be ready that it can be damaged and very sick and very easy to broke, really one. So, I really talk a lot about our ground station and want to summarize in your memory what types of requirement in your mind you must to have to your ground station, which your troops and units will use on the field. So first of all, it's for me, it's make possibility to work with all of sorts of communication system like LRS, TBS, like all of CRSF, Mavlink protocols communication system. It's, for me, it's like most important. Next one, what capability of external uses you can add to this ground station. For example, our ground station not can only scope the video on one VRX in one period of time, they can work as detection model Chuika, which you can see around our stand. It's like detectors of classic FPV drone, which analyze the communication system nearby the drone and showing you the video signal. So it's more like on a tactic level. When you are using ground station for analyze where the Russian FPV drone is really fly, or the place where you see the flying, and say to your artillery guy, guys, can you eliminate the enemy because we see where the drone is flying up. It's very important. Next one, it's scrambling the analog video. Everybody hears that analog is bad communication system because everybody can see this video. Yes, everybody knows information, but no less guys know that you can invert and hide the analog video. Why analog is good? It's cheap. You can install 50 watts amplifier on analog transmitters, for example, and fly on insanely range. Integration with reconnaissance system, AI assisted, it's more about scanning the commands, and also the streaming. The streaming capability and your ground station must to stream to your command center the video of Starlink. It's the rule for Ukrainian tactic groups which flying on FPV drone. Every combat say, we need the stream, and it's not the bad word because you may understand in combat in general must to see the global image, the global understanding what happens with your drone when you are flying all the way distance around. And also sometimes another pilot also can see your stream because they want to understand this position. Remember all of like bushes, trees to after you fly more good. Okay, tactic of using FPV drone with ground station. I want to summarize and say that Russians use different sorts of jamming system. Which jamming system do you know? Пересвет, maybe Shtora here. Did somebody hear about Shtora? Awesome. One man from all of guys. What does it mean, Shtora? You see on this video, when our guys use classic FPV of other manufacturer, they fly. Russian understand the video from this FPV, they scope this video and start jamming direct channel of the FPV drone of what they are flying. What you see? They start jamming. In normal condition, you are losing the drone. What our pilot does, they hope the channel. And this is what our ground station does. They switch to another channel. On the left, guys do it manually. On the right, the ground station do it automatically. So we avoid the signal just for hoping the channel using classic manual transmitter system via smart audio communication. But it's basic stuff. Stora works as we have like several versions of Stora jamming system in Russian army. One it's work more higher bandwidth, other more wider, but the system works from 50 megahertz to 7 gigahertz. Analyze what now happens in the area, and jamming direct the frequency of communication. So, first rule, make opportunity that your transmitter system can hope the video. Or another opportunity, on your system, on your drone, you will have 2 transmitters. First one. Next one, your communication system. Maybe you fly, maybe you know about classic ELRS modes. But somebody hear about Ukrainians system like Barvinok, somebody here, or about MIL-ELRS? No? Long story short, your system, which you're using on your drone, has been B2B communication. So you communicate with your drone. They not work in classic mode that you can avoid the system hiding the ELRS. When you're using your receivers on your drone, you're showing to enemy on what frequency you are flying. You must or use special flashware and cut off the telemetry backpack that your drone on classic FPV will only receive the video data. That Stora cannot block your RC control. This is the secret. And this is what our ground station does, this is what our troops and unit does. Very important to understand that every troops and every units in Ukraine has their own capability. If you're talking about GUR guys, which works on deep strike mission near Crimea, it's one level of tactic use. If we're talking about guys which are working near Kherson, is another level of tactic use. Every ground station, every drones, every relaying system can be efficient or non-efficient in different conditions. And operation range also can be different for different antennas. As manufacturer, we definitely can provide different solutions, but you as customer cannot be ready that one system can work with every condition. Not build the castles in the sky. It's really curious when I want to hear from some guys that, okay, Maxym, can you provide the system which weighs nothing and can fly on elements on like 70, 60 kilometers? Yes, when you see these antennas, which weigh around 10 kilograms, big antenna mount with also a weight about 25 kilograms, and say, okay, how I can bring it in range? It's really heavy, it's really, it's not useful for, yes, but it's different tactic use. And you must understand, as I say before and many times, different drones, different solutions, and different systems for different target tasks. When we operate and work with communication system, we start, it's 2 years videos. Actually, this is Donetsk region. From the front line, around 70, 80 kilometers, you see the civil cars riding around. So for work in Donetsk region, we use a relaying system. And relaying system really works when you need to fly on 80, 70 kilometers range with even classic FPV. So what's the point? The point is that you can play with your payload. It's not necessary to use 4, 5, 7 kilograms payload to eliminate some tanks in range. You can use 200, 300 grams and use classic motorized DJI and other sorts of drones. It will be cheaper for you with some sorts of relaying system which can relay and relaying on bigger distance. Because one more time, the problem is that when you are using FPV drone on like 20, 50 kilometers, you break the limits of communication. Without the relaying system, you can't do this. I'm really in timing, so this is QR code. You can scan it to our form, and after our conversation, contact with me. I'm really open to answer all of your questions. Thank you. And if you want to make some questions, we have time for questions? Yeah, so guys, I'm really glad to answer of some technical question if you had to me. No question?
One question.
Please.
Wait one. Well, let's take the gentleman in the back first.
Thank you. Maxym, thank you for your valuable insights and thank you for your resistance. Question about the communication means and data links. Here in Baltics, we mostly work with Western technology, different mesh networks, providing high data throughput and meshing all the UIVs together. I mean, generally, what would be your recommendation for this communication mean? Yeah.
Thank you for your question. As I say many times for this exhibition meeting, different drones for different target tasks. Yes, we can buy Silius install of every sort of FPV, and FPV will cost $3K only because it's Silius, and make a good mesh network system, which will very good. If you work maybe like on vector drone, you will also use some network Wi-Fi adapter, which can work great, and you can just to boost your Wi-Fi mesh network system using Mavlink data. For the most cheapest way to work in mesh, I think a good solution is OpenIPC with classic alpha data transmitters. You can Google it, a lot of repository on GitHub or in Google about such methods for video network communication. That's what Russian does. That's what Sting video transmitter model, which eliminate a lot of Shaheds basic on. So it really works. And in summary, when you use your analog system, it's for one side. When you use your digital system, which are very expensive, and from other side. It depends on what drone you are providing and what kind of enemy you want to eliminate.
Okay, thank you. Another question?
So, kind of a double question. First, have you thought of the communication over 4G and the 4G from space coming from Starlink and the test happening in Ukraine? How's that's going to affect UGVs and FPVs? And the second question would be, when it comes to the Chinese drones, DJI Mavics and so on, could you rate the most useful ones and compare them to any US manufactured drones that are used here?
I think about, can I say about this information, because as Boo said to me not to say anybody. Okay, did you hear about Pavutina project? Somebody here, somebody know. You maybe know that this drone has been controlled via 3G system. So it's not rocket science. You have a Raspberry, you connect it via Mavlink protocol to a flight controller, you connect to a Raspberry some sort of IP or digital cameras, and use 3G network to communicate of the drone and control via all sorts of drones via 3G. So mostly the same you can do via satellites, via Starlink. And that's what you see on the slide about modernization of the drone, where we modernize installing Starlink on the system. So imagine, you not need to installing 3G, you not need to installing Starlink, you just use LTE modem, but communicate directly with satellites. Is this technology already tested? For me, no. But if we plan to do this, yes. unfortunately can't add more information because security. But definitely this technology is the future. I can't say that is worse or bad, but I think it will work. Can you repeat the second question, please?
The second question was, what's the best drone the users can buy, sort of DJI Mavic? Is that the easiest to go to, talking about countries' home guards and so on?
Actually, a really good question. Because as I'm founder of the company, I say my drone is the best, but no, I don't will say so. Ukrainians stand on the first day with Mavic, with China drone, Mavic 3, Mavic 2. Yes, we use it. For the first quarter of 2022, my volunteer organization, Dronarnia, provide 20,000 dropping system for DJI Mavic 3. We assembled it from a trash, really. We recycle vape batteries for vaping, put batteries inside, 3D printed it, and assemble it dropping system via Arduino. And it really works. So if you're a military guy, really use everything for dropping some enemy on enemy head. Why it was efficient? Because tactic range was short. Right now, if we're talking about best scouting drone for looking in the research job, it's the best drone with camera is Mavic 4T, I think. Is the best one. It's the most popular in Ukrainian army for make artillery job more accuracy. It's mobile, it's you can install 2 battery, fly longer. So yeah. For other solution like relaying, dropping some presence on enemy head, yes, DIY drones from different manufacturers is the solution. More question?
No, no more questions.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
We need to send you to lunch, but hey, big round of applause for Maxym. Дякую, друзі.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to take the questions then to Maxym's stand, and I'm sure he's more than welcome to answer you.